Welcome to Crim 5. I am Dr. Akins. This is week 1. Please review the syllabus in Canvas carefully. Review the Netiquette Agreement. Sign it and upload it into Canvas. This week we will begin with creating teams to understand how a learning organization works, which is different than the typical top-down organizational structure of most police agencies, government agencies, and many contractors that work with the government. This is about change, and complex organizational change happens efficiently in a learning organization, according to Senge's theory. We will read it this week. See Canvas. Next week, we will read Chapter 8 in the book, Community and Problem-Oriented Policing. But this week, you will complete the True Colors assignment and share what color you identify with. Then I will place you, by color, in team roles that you will keep the entire semester while working with different student peers. First, let's review the syllabus. Pause the video and find your syllabus in Canvas to read along. My office is located in OAB 123. My office hours are MW 9:15 a.m., 11:15 a.m. OAB 123, Friday 9 a.m., 10 a.m. virtual. I am very flexible. If you email me or message me through Canvas, I will do my best to meet with you via Zoom, phone, or email at a time that works for you. My email, truth.akinsfresnocitycollege.edu, and my phone, 559-442-8200. This course examines proactive community-oriented policing and problem-solving in the context of changes in police departments and communities. Students will be provided with the knowledge needed to understand the community policing philosophy and its applications for police and society. Students will examine the evolution of community policing, the relationship of the police, and the community policing philosophy, addressing crime and conflict, the implementation and methods of evaluating community-oriented and problem-solving initiatives, challenges and potential for administering criminal justice within a multicultural society with conflicting values in culture, religion, and law. Students will learn why learning organizations function and are important to criminal justice. According to Senge's theory, A, CSU, UC. Advisory. English 1A is recommended. The required textbook is by Kenneth Peak and R.W. Glensor, 2016. Community and Problem-Oriented Policing, Effectively Addressing Crime and Disorder, 7th edition. Please note that as this is a required text, no provisions or accommodations will be made for students who fail to obtain a copy of the correct 7th edition of the textbook. Student learning outcomes. Upon successfully completing this course, students will be familiar with the philosophy of community policing and problem solving in the United States and will develop an understanding of the processes involved in implementing COPS in a law enforcement agency. Students will be able to define community-oriented policing and problem solving, explain the SARA problem-solving process, understand the various problems that are involved in implementing community policing and problem solving in a police department and local community. Apply their understanding of problem solving to specific crime problems in the community. Additionally, based on course lectures, reading assignments, writing assignments, and in-class demonstrations, the student will be able to satisfactorily write a paper and/or pass a multiple choice short answer examination, demonstrating an ability to identify and/or describe. 1. Explain the history and evolution of multiculturalism in the United States. 2. Describe the challenges presented by a multicultural society to the administration of justice. 3. Identify the issues which produce conflict between diverse communities and the criminal justice system. 4. Describe the strategies to accomplish justice in a multicultural society. Methods of evaluation. Written assignments. Substantial writing assignments are required, 25% or more of grade. Informal essay, short composition, short essays, research paper. All students must demonstrate a minimally acceptable level of skill in analyzing current police-community relations problems, their causes, and the development of possible solutions. online debates and group discussions, testing and short answers, quizzes and short tests, students with disabilities. Fresno City College is committed to creating accessible learning environments consistent with federal and state law. To obtain academic adjustments or auxiliary aids, students must be registered with the DSP&S office on campus. DSP&S can be reached at 559-442-8237 and is located in Building 1. If you are already registered with the DSP&S office, please provide your notice of accommodation form as soon as possible. If you think you have a learning disability but are not sure, please contact the Disabled Students Programs and Services staff for a free consultation. All information will be kept confidential. Sexual harassment. In accordance with university policy and state and federal laws, any and all forms of sexual harassment are prohibited from any classroom or university activity, including anything related to this course. Any student concerned with these issues should discuss the matter privately with the instructor or contact the Office of Equal Opportunity Program. Discrimination and harassment. In accordance with college policy and state and federal laws, any and all forms of discrimination will not be tolerated, nor harassment based upon protected classes or related retaliation against or by any employee or student. For purposes of this, protected classes refers to race, color, national origin, sex, pregnancy, age, disability, creed, religion, sexual orientation, gender identity, gender expression, veteran status, political affiliation, or political philosophy. Students are protected against capricious, arbitrary, unreasonable, unlawful, false, malicious, or professionally inappropriate evaluations or behavior by a faculty member, a staff member, an administrator, or an official of the college, or another student. Individuals who believe they have been discriminated against should contact Student Services Sean Henderson, Dean of Student Services. Phone 559-442-8295. Email sean.henderson@fresnocitycollege.edu. Attendance copied directly from class schedule catalog, PGs 15 and 29. To gain the most from this course, it is essential that you attend class regularly. Exams will include both text and lecture material, and not all lecture material is in the text. The material in this course is complex, and repeated absences will make it difficult, if not impossible, for the student to master essential information. Arriving late or leaving early, in addition to resulting in lost class time for the student, can also be extremely disruptive to the class. Please be considerate of your classmates. Students are expected to attend all class sessions. Students may be dropped from class if she fails to attend the first session of the semester. Only the instructor may excuse an absence. Students on a wait list must attend the first class meeting to obtain instructor permission to ADD the class. A student who does not attend the first meeting of any class for which she has registered may be dropped from the class. It is the student's responsibility to make arrangements with her instructor if the first class meeting will be missed. Absences from class due to transportation delays, personal and business engagements, or to complete registration or program changes are considered unexcused absences. A student who is continuously absent for 2 weeks may be dropped by the instructor provided the absences occur prior to the final drop deadline. Students who show a pattern of absences which the instructor considers excessive may also be dropped prior to the final drop deadline provided the instructor has given students due notice of this policy in the course syllabus. In accordance with the State Education Code and college policy, no student may be dropped after 50% of the class, but must receive a letter grade. Students who intend to drop a class should do so themselves. See dropping a class on page 15, and not depend on the instructor to drop them for non-attendance. The college and its individual instructors assume no responsibility to change grades assigned to a student as a result of the student's failure to drop a class properly. Additional attendance and classroom conduct policies. 1. Students are expected to participate in discussion weekly via Canvas. Discussion questions topics will be posted no later than Monday of every week. Students are required to respond no later than Friday of the same week at 11:59 p.m. Students who do not make contact with the instructor by Friday, January 12, 2024 at midnight will be dropped from the course. Participation in class discussion online is required and will be worth 10 points per week. Students must actively participate in meaningful discussion to earn those points, not just post one-word responses to discussion. Students are expected to be respectful and courteous of others in discussion, and failure to remain respectful will result in loss of points and possibly removal from class. 2. Students who do not keep up with weekly discussion will be subject to being dropped by the instructor after missing 1 week. 3. Any student who stops attending class has the responsibility of officially dropping from the class in accordance with academic regulations in order to avoid the possibility receiving a failing grade. 4. Students are expected to refrain from holding personal conversations with other students during class or from conducting themselves in a manner that disrupts or distracts from the learning process. 5. All classwork submitted to the instructor must be typed or computer generated. 6. All assignments shall be submitted to the instructor on or before the due date. 7. Assignments will not be accepted after the due date. 8. Make-up assignments are not allowed. Instructional methods. 1. Lecture and class discussion. 2. Homework reading assignments. 3. Multimedia presentations. 4. Guest speakers grading method. 1. All letter grades are based on the percentage of total points earned as follows. A. 90% and above. A. B. 80% and above. B. C. 70% and above. C. D. 60% and above, D, E, 59% and below, F. Please review the available points for assignments. Extra credit. With prior approval of the instructor, students may earn 20 points of extra credit by participating in a ride-along program with a county or municipal uniformed patrol law enforcement agency. An important note, students will not be allowed to complete an extra credit assignment if they have more than 3 absences. Upon instructor approval, the student must meet the following requirements to be considered for extra credit points. 1. Participate in the ride-along for no less than 4 hours during any patrol shift. 2. Keep a detailed activity log containing the following. A. Ride-along arrival and conclusion time. Assigned patrol district and geographical beat assignment. B. Account for all calls for service and their disposition, including but not limited officer or deputy initiated and dispatched activity. C. Type A. 2-page detailed account of any significant calls for service that involved, but not limited to, an arrest, use of force, vehicle pursuit, etc. Offer a critical analysis of your ride-along to include any lessons learned. Answer specifically, are you still interested in the criminal justice profession? Why or why not? D. The typewritten detailed account will be in 12 font, no bold type, double-spaced with 1-inch margins on all 4 sides, containing your name, student ID number, class and section in the upper right corner. Academic integrity. Academic honesty and integrity are expected of all students at the university. All acts of academic misconduct will be dealt with as described in the Student Code of Conduct. Plagiarism involves taking credit for another individual's original ideas or exact words without using proper citations to acknowledge the author. It will not be tolerated, and it is essential that you avoid plagiarism when preparing your written assignment. 1. Cheating, plagiarism, and collusion in misconduct erodes the integrity of the college. Each student is expected to exert an honest effort in fulfilling all academic requirements. Academic dishonesty in any form is a very serious offense and will incur serious consequences. 2. Students found to be cheating, plagiarizing, or colluding to violate any college policy will be referred to the Vice President of Student Services for further disciplinary action. 3. Any student found in violation of any classroom or college policy may be immediately removed from the classroom for the remainder of the class session. 4. AI such as ChatGPT and other AI generators will not be allowed for any coursework and will be considered cheating. Refrain from using AI for assignments in this course. Disclaimer. Because of the nature of the work in the criminal justice system and real life, examples presented in class, verbal and nonverbal expressions, multimedia presentations, and role-playing by the instructor will be used to demonstrate to students important learning points. These types of examples and teaching opportunities are not meant or designed to demean or insult any group or individual, but to simply give the students an understanding of the reality that exists in this profession, and to prepare the student to interact with different types of people and situations in a professional manner. Simply stated, teaching and learning within the criminal justice profession cannot take place in a sterile educational environment, exposing the student to a variety of scenarios they very well may encounter when they enter the workforce upon completion of their degree, gives the student an opportunity to make an informed decision if the criminal justice profession is the right choice for them. Fall important dates. This list contains high-level information only, and unless specified, applies only to full-term 18-week classes. For information on deadlines for short-term classes, contact your instructor. Unless otherwise noted, deadlines are at 5 p.m., the close of business, on the date indicated. If you have a hold that prevents your using self-service to meet drop deadlines, email registration@fresnocitycollege.edu from your student email before midnight on the deadline with the information on what class to drop. Deadlines cannot be extended under any circumstances. Fall 2025, important dates. Quick reference table. Deadline for dismissal appeals, due to A&R before 5 p.m. 08-06. Pre-registration closes online or via email 0808 classes. Begin 18-week and first 9-week session. 0811. Late registration with authorization and self-service. Online or via email 0811. 901. Drop with refund for full-term 18-week classes 0822. Add with authorization and drop without W. Online or via email 0829. Declare pass, no pass. Elect ARC reverse by Monday, the week before class ends. Varies Labor Day holidays. Campus closed 0830, 0901. Apply for diploma or certificate deadline 1101. Drop with W in person, online, or via email. 10 classes begin for second 9-week session. 10-13 Veterans Day holiday. Campus closed 11-11 Thanksgiving. Campus closed 11-27. 11:30 fall semester ends 12-12. Campus closes for winter break. A&R reopens 01/02/26, 12-25, 01/01/26, fall 2025. See important dates. Details noted in syllabus August 6, 2025. Last day to submit a dismissal appeal. September and third-party documentation of extenuating circumstances. August 8, 2025. Last day to register in person for classes starting August 11, 2025. August 11, 2025. Fall classes begin. Full term, 18-week, and first 9-week session August 11th, September 1st, 2025. Late registration for full-term classes. Student must obtain ad authorization and self-service from the instructor. These dates vary for short-term classes. Ask those class instructors for specific dates. August 22nd, 2025. Last day to drop a full-term class and be eligible for a refund. August 29th, 2025. Last day to add a full-term class and last day to drop a full-term class with staff assistance and not receive a W on your transcript. If you have academic or business office holds, you must clear the hold to add your class, but you can still drop a class in person or via email. September 1st, 2025, last day to add a full-term class and last day to drop a full-term class without staff assistance and not receive a W on your transcript. August 30th, September 1st, 2025, Labor Day holiday. The campus is closed, no services. October 10th, 2025, last day to drop a full-term class. You will receive a W on your transcript. October 13th, 2025. Classes begin for 2 and 9 week session. November 3rd, 2025. Last day to apply for fall degree or certificates. November 11th, 2025, Veterans Day holiday. The campus is closed, no services. November 27th, 2025, Thanksgiving holiday. The campus is closed, no services. December 12th, 2025, last day of the fall semester. December 18th, 2025, grades available in self-service. December 25, 2025, campus closed for winter break. A&R services reopen January 2nd, 2026. Tentative schedule. Criminology 5. Fall 2025. Students should read their textbook in preparation for class discussions centered on material contained in the textbook. Exam questions are designed from material contained in the textbook. It is the student's responsibility to prepare themselves for each exam. This schedule may be modified at the discretion of the instructor. Watch the introduction video for Week 1 assignments. Watch the lecture for Week 2 video for next week's lecture on Chapter 8. Thank you and have a great day. I am looking forward to seeing your perceptions and learning more about you as a learner. You will make it through week by week. You can do it. Believe in yourself.